What can I say about episode 3 of Batwoman season 3 that already hasn't been said about Beirut? It's a shithole. Nothing good happens there. You don't want to see it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, before we go any further, before we get into this review, let me just show you one thing to set the tone for this entire episode, which, by all accounts, is one of the bottom 3 episodes of this series. Take it away. Monkeys, roll the footage.
No.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
We start out this week's action-packed episode. I can't even fucking say that. Generic white guy misses the bus, starts heavily exhibiting signs of white privilege.
I pay taxes. I pay your salary, man. Screw you.
Which really isn't true, because although he's in a suit, he's attempting to take public transportation to work, and it's a city bus at that. That really doesn't scream privilege to me. What about you? Unless you're one of those brain-dead fucking troglodytes who believes that if you're white, no matter what your socioeconomic status, you're inherently privileged. To those people, I say you're absolutely fucking retarded. No, I didn't stutter. And really, you have no other card to play other than the victim status that you've been programmed to cling to, because you're a stupid cunt. White guy misses the bus, and we cut to the inside, where a pair of diverse children are riding in the back. Not so subtle, Caroline, you dumb heifer. Which one of your activist twats wrote this shite you meant to go fly under the radar? Our diverse inner-city youth are riding the bus, and the boy is trying to show his sister that he found what he doesn't realize is the Mr. Freeze, liquid nitrogen. So when she ignores him and opens up the canister, the entire bus freezes up in the middle of the street, and white guy is like, I love this freaking damn. Oh, fuck me. Just roll the opener.
I was a little frustrated. Batwoman, that's just a car. Somebody's watching this show. That really annoyed me. Batwoman is still doing quite well. It doesn't even look like Batwoman.
Peter, I'm really starting to question why I'm even friends with you in the first place.
We start with Gotham Channel 8's Misexposition, as a well-placed news broadcast is the easiest way to start out what's sure to be a fucking character assassination of the Mr. Freeze mythos. Not that Joel Schumacher didn't do that already.
You are not sending me to the cooler.
But Misexposition says that school kids with liquid nitrogen caused the entire bus to freeze in the middle of Gotham Street. She says that they're linking it to the deceased Mr. Victor Freeze, one of Batman's coldest enemies. Meanwhile, in the offices of strong, independent black female who don't need no man industries, aka Jeturian, who cares? Jada, or Mike Tyson's former punching bag, is watching the news report, and in comes her daughter, Bitch Ma'am, or Batfaker, not Kane, black woman. Ryan says,
that's why I take the subway.
After seeing what happened to the bus, Jada sings the praises of Ryan and says, you've overcome your circumstances, and Ryan tells her she isn't mad at her. And then Jada basically says, bye-bye, bitch, I don't want you. And Ryan pouts because mommy doesn't want her. And in comes Marquise, which is pronounced Marcus. Okay, it's spelled M-A-R-Q-U-I-S, but pronounced Marcus. Fuck off. And that's the executive vice blah blah fucking blah. And he's the executive vice acquisition. Yada
yada yada.
Ryan and Sophie are at Wayne, headed to the Bat Cave, and Sophie attempts to... You know what? It doesn't fucking even matter, because Sophie is such an afterthought with literally nothing relevant to do in the show anymore, except look hot as fuck. So, Sophie and Ryan are together, and fuck it, let's strike up the band. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is.
The lesbian!
Oh yeah, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Ryan has an absolute
dump truck ass.
Damn!
This damn segment wasn't even in review, but did you see the look on Cuckwing's face watching Mary hug Ryan? He was like,
Yeah, that's it. Now smell her a little bit.
Luke and Mary are coddling Ryan's poor feelings after the meeting with Jada went awry. Well, it didn't go awry. It went exactly the way it was always going to go, but Ryan's a stupid bitch who plays the victim every time something goes wrong. While Mary is asking questions, Alice starts chewing the scenery about killing Ryan's mom and then getting her a new one, and then says she feels like the nanobites inside her are spiders crawling in her skin. I think that's just Rachel Skarsten bleeding into her character because this show is driving her insane. Being on it is a nightmare. And Ryan asks if she's calling in sick. And the whole time Alice is perched on top of a piece of computer equipment in the Batcave, and it just looks funny. Luke tells Ryan that she has to break into GCPD to get the canister of the freeze stuff, and it's been taken from the evidence room. We find out Victor Freeze's canister has inexplicably fallen into the hands of old ladies. And in comes a diverse gang of thieves, who of course led by a strong, diverse female character.
There ain't no fluff here.
Cuck Fox tells Ryan that old white lady stole the freeze canister, and we find out that Nora Freeze was frozen by Victor to try to help her and solve her medical condition that was slowly killing her. Dee Smithy is our thief, and that's Nora Freeze's sister, and I don't care. I don't care. You call this episode Freeze, and then you have nothing resembling anything like here's Mr. Freeze's widow and her sister. Great, so we get his fucking old-ass wife and her sister-in-law. And I'm just going to shoot here for a minute because this really speaks to a larger problem about this show. And normally these reviews are carefully scripted and I go by my outlines in my script and I read off it, But really, this speaks to Caroline Dries and her team of fucking piece of shit activist cunts that try to fucking write this shit. There's a reason the ratings have fucking been cut in half since you lost the Kane character. You fucking idiots crafted a show around Kane. You went back to 2006 to get her mythos when this character goes back to the 1950s. But no, you're like, oh my God, we're gonna bring her in, and Caroline Dries is a lesbian, and we're just gonna bring Kane in, and we're gonna go back to 06 and make her lesbian and make her Jewish, which I have no problem with her being Jewish. Hello. I have no problem with her being a lesbian. But you decided to make that the only thing that matters with this fucking character. And then you fired Ruby Rose because either your set was shit and unsafe, or she was a stupid cow and unreasonable to work with. One of the two. Who knows? Warner Brothers treats their people like shit, we know that, but Ruby Rose may also be unbearable to work with. I don't know. I do know she was a better iteration of the character, obviously. Ryan Wilder's fucking garbage. And this is nothing against Javicia Leslie. So all you little cunts that come in the comments and whine, oh, you racist man, baby. No, it's not a good character. It's nothing to do with Javicia Leslie. She can only do what the script allows her to do and say. She's not Rachel Skarsten, who can chew the fucking scenery up and make herself a beast because her character is meant to be that. Ryan has to stay within the parameters of Batwoman, which I don't, like I said, the acting ability might be there. I don't know. It doesn't get showcased because she has horrible writing to work with. I mean, just look at this. Let's look at this quote from Caroline Dries. This really speaks to what this stupid fucking heifer has to offer with this fucking show, which, I hate it, but I keep reviewing it because you guys love to see me suffer and do this shit. So let's read this quote from this stupid pig.
As a lesbian who has been working as a writer for the past 15 years, I'm well aware that the bury your gays trope, and I have no interest in participating in it. That's why it's important to me as a showrunner to clarify any misinformation out there about Kate Kane and recasting Batwoman. Like you, I love Kate Kane.
Liar!
She's the reason I wanted to do the show. We'll never erase her. In fact, her disappearance will be one of the mysteries of season 2. I don't want to give away any of our surprises, but to all of our devoted fans, please know that the alphabet justice is the very core of what Batwoman is, and we have no intention of abandoning that.
2 hours later.
Luke had told Ryan that the old white lady stole the freeze canister. Nora Freeze was frozen by Victor, blah, blah, blah. And then Cuck Fox asked Ryan, who's this black man that's bouncing a basketball off Bruce Wayne's case of first editions? And she's like,
That's my brother.
and it's Marquise, but it's pronounced Marcus. Jet. Fucking dumb shit writing. Fucking idiots. Ryan's salty and Marquise. I'm just going to call him Marquise because that's not Marcus. That's not how you say Marcus. If you say that is how you pronounce Marcus with that spelling, you're fucking retarded, and I want you to go just jump off a building. And he knows all about Ryan's history, and he tells her that he knew about Ryan, and she was the product of an affair. And he says,
I would ask you for a hug, but you look like you could kick my ass. So.
This man has no dick.
because all the black men in this show have to be effeminate and subservient to Ryan.
And fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Ryan and Cuck Fox are talking over the comms while she's out on a mission as Batwoman, and she's in Nora's house and says that someone got there before them because the plot needed that to fucking happen, of course. And I wonder who it is. It's probably our diverse gang of, diverse thieves led by diverse, strong female character. And I forgot Independent, who don't need no man except to be on her gang of thugs. Then Cuck Fox asks what Ryan knows about Ace Chemicals. Didn't Harley blow that up in Turds of Prey? Ryan says the only thing she knows is that
Nothing goodsies ever came out of there.
our diverse gang of diverse characters led by strong, independent, diverse female character who don't need no man is given the information to use the cryogenic chamber, and our old lady fires it up, and diverse female gang leader is pleased. Mary is giving Alice a physical. Yeah, when I think of Mary and Alice playing doctor, trust me, it gets a lot hotter than what they are willing to do here, which is surprising considering how everything on this show is based in being Mary says that her symptoms are mental and not physical, and then she dives into her mental state and tries to get Alice to admit she needs help. Instead, Alice says that you couldn't help Batboy, and it says in her files that Cuckwing is having some performance issues. So, of course, dick joke at Luke's expense, emasculate the black man. Alice knows that Mary has a thing for Luke and teases her about it. And Rachel Skarsten is basically the saving grace of this show. Alice tells Mary that the Bat Team doesn't see Mary unless they need her, and she should know her place. And is it right for even a white villain to tell an Asian protagonist? But I guess Asian characters are like white adjacent, so they're all right to denigrate them. Is that what the writer is telling us here?
Stupid American!
Cuck Fox has Ryan at the warehouse where a diverse female gang leader who's strong, independent, and don't need no man, and the old ladies are. And Black Woman knocks out the goons, and now they're all getting beat down while diverse female gang leader escapes. And Bitch Man beats up the rest of the white gang members. I guess they weren't so diverse after all. They were just static white guys, which, for this show, cool, you're cannon fodder. We all know it, right?
Oh, what the fuck ever?
So we have our diversity fight.
Black versus Asian.
And Ryan calls diverse female gang leader
A gun. Could you be more basic?
So,
as Ryan whips out her big black dildo bat baton. Diverse female gang leader pulls out twin dildos. For a show about female empowerment, they sure lingered a while on diverse female characters' backside there, which nobody's gonna complain, but then it's time, ladies and gentlemen, cue the music.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
And color me surprised when this 110-pound woman does something that no 250-pound male can do to Batfaker.
well,
She knocked Ryan.
The fuck out, man!
Ryan wakes up in the cryogenic chamber, and diverse female gang leader is going to have the old ladies kill Ryan, and she refuses until she unrefuses, and diverse female gang leader freezes our Batwoman. Yeah, this scene is fucking garbage, don't care. Whilst Ryan is in the chamber, she radios Cuckwing, and he brilliantly states that she needs to stay awake. She tells Cuckwing he needs to suit up, find old white lady D. Whilst Nora is at Mary's abortion clinic, and or vice versa. I don't know. They're both old white ladies. I don't really care. And they exchange ridiculous dialogue. Alice puts a knife to her throat and tells Mary if she doesn't take out the nanobot, she'll kill the old lady. And Old lady says, go fucking head, I'm old as fuck, I don't care. And Alice loses interest because old lady doesn't care if she dies or not, so Alice is like, fuck this, I'm gonna go fucking find something to get high with. And then Mary and Alice have an argument, and Alice just fucking leaves. Mary apologizes to Nora, or Dee, or whichever old lady it is, and old lady says she understands why Alice is the way she is.
Care this, calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Sophie is contacting Ryan on the radio because they have nothing else for her to fucking do, and Sophie tells Ryan that she's mad at her and whines about doing all the investigative work for her, and that Ryan doesn't know Sophie at all, and well, that she insists on calling her Batwoman instead of fucking Ryan, then calls her Ryan as she falls asleep. The writing is so inconsistent. What the fuck does Sophie have to do other than to show her tits off and be a lesbian?
The lesbian!
We see through the frosted glass of the cryo chamber that Cuckwing, Black Dollar Store Iron Man, has arrived and beats up the goons. And we see him go full Chris Brown as he slams diverse female gang leader's face against the chamber door and knocks her out.
Because that's what heroes do.
And then he saves Bitch Ma'am. Luke the Cuck is the hero.
Are you serious?
But the diverse female gang leader and her crew escape with a canister. So Ryan is back to normal with no effects from almost being frozen to death in a matter of minutes and driving the Batmobile.
That's just a car.
With Luke riding bitch of...
Pay that shit.
And Sophie is tracking diverse female gang leader and old lady hostage. And Ryan tells Sophie that she's clever for keeping her from nodding out and succumbing to hypothermia in the chamber, because that's exactly how this works. And Luke asks Ryan,
Are you flirting with Sophie right now?
as they draw closer to the diverse female gang leader and her hostage. Diverse female gang leader blows up the bridge, and Bitch Ma'am decides to go all evil Knievel, and Cuckwing takes flight and uses the liquid nitrogen to make an impromptu repair to fill the gap in the bridge. Again, because this is exactly how this works. And we also find out that the Batmobile has an automatic transmission.
Well.
And Ryan and Crowfee continue to flirt back and forth in dialogue that's so cringe-inducing it must have been written by El Capitan de Lesbicano herself, Caroline fucking Dries. Diverse female gang leader's SUV is stopped by a grappling hook from the Cuckmobile, and they release Old White Lady number 2. She's set free as the gang leader escapes, and Batfaker and Cuckwing don't even attempt to catch them. Stupid! So you don't want to apprehend the villains and attempt to question them to find out who the benefactor is. This gang wanted to procure this liquid nitrogen for somebody because they alluded to their employer during the episode, but apparently only retrieving the old white lady and some of the nitrogen is the goal of the Bat Team, and not finding out who the bigger threat is.
Fuck me, right?
Alice's fine ass is remanded back to Arkham Asylum again, and she's still suffering effects from the nano injection, which she sees moving under her skin, but it doesn't allude if it's just in her head or if it's in reality, and well, reality of the show. Ryan and Cuck Fox are putting the remainder of the nitrogen back into the locker at the Batcave, and Ryan thanks Cuckwing for having her back. And enter Mary, who tells Ryan Luke turned off the failsafe in his suit, and then tells Luke he's not ready for the suit, and further cuts off the small amount of balls he had. This is the modus operandi for this show, though. Every time a male character gets any amount of authority or power, it's imperative they be emasculated by a vastly superior character, or in this case, Mary. And Ryan tells Mary she needs Luke, and Mary says Luke has PTSD and objects, of course, to Luke serving in the field. Ryan leaves, and Luke and Mary are left alone, and Mary tells Luke she
had to say something, Z's.
And Luke replies,
No, the fuck you didn't, bitch.
The next scene takes us to
This is Lesbos!
where some Sinead O'Connor looking bitch is serving Crowfee, who goes and sits down with Ryan, who's researching Marquise, pronounced Marcus, because we're stupid, and we discuss feelings in the lesbian bar, and Ryan says she wants a mommy.
So,
Mary takes Nora a bag of pain meds. I wish I could get a delivery like that. I wonder if Uber Eats will bring Vicodin. And unfortunately, we spend the next couple minutes here until Poison Ivy's vine grabs Mary by the legs and pulls her into the bushes. There's a metaphor to be made here about next week, we not only get what's most certainly going to be full-on lesbian Poison Ivy, but the teaser during the credits alludes to a relationship between Ryan and Sophie. I wonder when they scissor if Ryan calls her a white supremacist like she did last season.
Never have I ever compromised my values to supporting white supremacist organizations.
Da-na-na. Let's just get it over with. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Season 3, Episode 3 of Batwoman, Freeze, which had little to nothing to do with Mr. Freeze. So, good news is, if you were worried about them ruining Mr. Freeze, you didn't have to worry about it, because Joel Schumacher did more damage than this episode did, because it literally had nothing to do with Mr. Freeze, aside from mentioning his name and showing his widow and her sister, which the whole plot to that was stupid, because it really went nowhere at all. It didn't do anything for the show. Didn't advance the plot. Didn't make Ryan look any better. They were more worried about Marcus, spelled Marquise, because we're stupid in the CW land, and putting Ryan and Sophie is shipping them two together. So I will keep on keeping on for you guys. I love you. This is painful though. Oh my God. And this, the ratings are under 400,000 viewers, just by a shade. So this just keeps progressively getting worse and worse and worse until it bottoms out like my ex. Yeah, so it's literally, ladies and gents, this show, I would say it couldn't get any worse, but this show is kind of like a hold my beer moment. That stretches out over an hour, and then for me it turns into 15 hours worth of production time for this video, which is what, 20 some minutes long, with the intro and all the jokes and the gags, and me off camera with a rope around my neck like I'm a carradine in a hotel room with Bob Crane. Oh God, I love you guys. Please, if today's the day I've earned it, subscribe to the channel to watch me suffer some more. I would talk about stuff that I like, but apparently nobody cares if it's not on a live stream. You don't want to see videos about what I like. You want to see me suffer. So suffer I shall for you through the remainder of Season 3 and so on, and Requiem and Terra Packs. Subscribe to the channel. Slap the like button for me if you're so inclined. Ring the bell for notifications. And, ladies and gentlemen, always make sure you do that for not only me, but your other favorite YouTubers as well. So that's it. No more Batwoman this week, folks. I'm going to take the weekend off. I want to take this time, though, to tell everyone, please have a safe and happy Halloween with your kids, with your family, with your friends. However you celebrate the Halloween holiday, enjoy it. From all of us here at the channel to all of you, I'm Etepo Queen of the Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all of you. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow. I'll catch you on the next one. And remember, it's always better to burn out than fade away, or to be Batwoman.